Chris Steeman, and I'm going to describe the functions and features of the cardiovascular system. So I have this image of the heart that I colored in, and the red represents the oxygenated blood, and the blue represents the deoxygenated blood. This is the right side of the heart, and this is the left side of the heart. So the heart is made up of 4 different chambers. The top 2 are the atrium, the bottom 2 are the ventricle. This is the right atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. And deoxygenated blood first enters the heart through the inferior vena cava and the superior vena cava. The inferior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the lower half of the body, and the superior vena cava brings deoxygenated blood from the upper part of the body. And it brings the blood into the right atrium, and then it goes through this valve, which is the tricuspid valve, into the right ventricle. The tricuspid valve then closes, so the blood can't flow back through the heart. So the valves, when they close, prevent the blood flowing backwards and make sure that the blood only flows one way throughout the heart. Then the blood goes from the right ventricle through the pulmonary semilunar valves up out the pulmonary arteries on each side. This pulmonary artery brings deoxygenated blood to the right lung, and this one brings it to the left lung. And then in the lungs, a process of gas exchange occurs called respiration, and this is where the deoxygenated blood converts into oxygenated blood. And once the blood is oxygenated, it comes back to the heart through the pulmonary veins on each side, and then it goes into the left atrium. And then the blood flows through this valve, which is the bicuspid or mitral valve, and it flows into the left ventricle. And then once it's in the left ventricle, it goes up through the aortic semilunar valve up into the aorta. And then it goes out the aorta on the top here and the bottom here to the arteries, which bring the oxygenated blood to the rest of the body. And now I have this picture, which shows the arteries that are carrying the oxygenated blood to the body. And it goes into the arterioles, which are smaller versions of the arteries, and into the capillaries. And the capillaries is where the oxygen and nutrients are taken from the oxygenated blood and brought to the tissues of the body, and also where the waste is removed. And then it is turned into deoxygenated blood again, where it goes into the venules, which are smaller versions of veins. And from the venules, it goes into the veins, where the veins take the deoxygenated blood and bring it back up to the heart again. And the process basically starts all over. And that's it.